For parents, why it is so hard to get their child to listen to them the first time?
Managing our expectations on what we want from our child.
Keep it simple, one direction at a time.
Set the environment that they can do the action within a short space.
Imagine a morning routine without any tantrum or a trip to the park with full cooperation of your little one, or going to bed, and all of this all start with the one skill, teaching your child how to follow directions. And how many times we have asked Johnny to pick up the toys. When he finished playing with the toys, Johnny pick up the toy, pick up the toy. And today we're going to talk about how to teach following directions. And welcome to PC, Parent Empowerment Coaching. And our goal is to equip you with the tools and strategies you can use to help your child thrive. My name is Dr. Chen. I'm your host, and I'm with Michael. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Chen.
And today we're going to break down this important topic into 3 segments: why direction following is important, and we're going to talk about common challenges of following directions, and we're going to leave parents with some actionable strategies, something they can do at home to try it out with their little ones. And I know that following directions is so hard. And the other day I was at a preschool. The teacher must have said the child name 10 times within 2 minutes, asked the child to clean up toys before move on to the table time. So tell us why direct following is so important.
Thank you for that. And it is something that even as quote unquote adults, people struggle with following directions. If you've ever been on a car and driven anywhere, no matter where you are, you realize that this is actually a multi-layered skill. So when you start to think about direction following, think of it as I call it kind of a multi-layered test of how a human can. First, it's the audio piece. Can they hear something coming? When there's all this sensory and all these things taking place. So listening is a crucial element that goes to it. Another part that we kind of, don't talk about enough is just the word value. Just understanding what words mean and its importance in real time can be helpful for an adult, but especially for a young child that's getting communication skills. And then the third piece is kind of like this action that needs to take place in lots of things. So when you tell Johnny to go get your shoes, it's not this one thing that they're doing. And so that's why when we talk about this, it's something that a lot of kids struggle with. And I think because we can talk and break it down, we can actually kind of build the layers in the correct order for your child to be successful, which will ultimately improve your child's well-being.
So, with the parents who have a hard time get their child to follow direction, it can be a very frustrating process. Imagine you come home, you are so tired, and then everything is a mess. The toys everywhere, and you said, "Okay, clean up your stuff," and then your kid just bounced around and not really following that direction. For parents, why it is so hard to get their child to listen to them the first time so that they don't feel so upset. I can understand that, right? Like after a long day at work, you're so tired and then you have to clean the whole floor. Like there is nowhere to put your feet in because everywhere is covered with the toys.
So there is that frustration. Hey, go get your shoes. And so,
Hmm.
of course, for a parent, it's look, I actually do a command. This is a behavior issue. They are choosing not to. But I would argue, and yes, behavior is an issue, right? There are some kids that will just choose not to. But I think for a lot of kids, when we kind of frame this on helping a young child improve, they just don't have all the fundamental skills to understand all of what you're trying to say. So I think the first step is really managing our expectations on what we want from our child. And so by sometimes I think a parent will give 3 or 4 steps in a command. Go get your shoes and put away this thing and do it right now. And especially if your child does not have a great communication system, that's just too many things coming at them at once. And so by kind of changing your expectations is really starting with the one simple ask. So I'm a big fan that when you're really working with a young child, I'm going to give one command that has one action attached to it. Because now I can troubleshoot where my child has some difficulties. So kind of a quick example, and I guess shoes is the example for today, is when I give the command, first, is my child listening? So I might have given the command, but they're too busy playing with the Legos, or they might be in the middle of, any type of playing with their fingers or distracted by music. And so that will help me to know, is listening a part of that issue? I need to do the command when I am near the child. I'm a big fan of, if I'm going to give one action for a child, I like to get close enough to them. I like to get eye level so that they can read body cues, even look at mouth movements, because I'm trying to focus that connection. So that's where, instead of being upset that they didn't follow 2 or 3 layers of command, now because I've asked just one thing, I could diagnose a listening issue, the word issue, the action issue, and that actually helps me to work on it versus feeling frustrated with the kiddo, because that doesn't get you anywhere, or just frustrated with yourself that things are not moving as fast as you like.
This is so important. Keep it simple, one direction at a time, not to ask them to put shoes away and they haven't done it. You have asked them to do the next thing.
Sometimes proximity can be the thing that works against you. So, of course, in my previous career, I ran a company that did behavior therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy. And it's amazing that even that go take your shoes, if the shoes where they're supposed to be are 3 feet away, you'll have a much higher ability for that child to follow the directions. But so many times you'll say, go put your shoes away, and they're across the room. And about halfway there, they get distracted because they see a toy that they like, or they want to go play with their friends. So I need to be realistic that if I plan to work on this as a skill, now you can ask your kid as many directions as you want. That's a video about being a caregiver. But if you want to work on this as an actual skill to grow, you want to set the environment for success. So I'm going to, where I need the shoes to be and where I give the command should be in close proximity. At minimum, it needs to be in eyesight. If you tell a kid to go to another room, you might as well send them off to like halfway across the world. They're not coming back, and not coming back with the command. Because I want to set the environment that they can do the action within a short space. And so that's that difference. The difference of how can I grow this skill versus please just do it.
There are a lot of planning that goes in. Like you said, Michael, there is the eye level, you are close to your child, you can prompt your child. And then if your child hasn't responded to you putting the shoes away, you can point where that shoes need to go. And also environment, setting the environment so that your child is close to where the shoe shelf is. So it's the shoe shelf is not 10 feet away, and it's something actually it's within your child peripheral vision and not too far.
Yes. So this is where, as you start to work on this skill, it's all in the prep. It's all in that ability. So if you want to work on this skill, just getting home from work and being tired is not the time to say this is wrong work on direction following. Be strategic. And maybe it's just picking 3 specific directions that are important for you, and even a bonus important for your child. I think can lay the framework of a skill that you can grow and see the improvement, because both you and your child are motivated on what that action does for both of you.
Let's say a mom of a 3-year-old, working on simple skills, putting things away. When you arrive at home, water bottle, the shoes, the toys, and then come home, pick up a toy to play as their routine, and mom start to prepare for dinner. So if that's the routine, what would you say some of the 3 simple direction following activity they can do? We can keep it simple, we can keep it relevant to our child life. Another thing is it has to be, I found to be very helpful when the skill is actually within the child skill repertoire.
Thanks for watching. Are you ready for support? Look in the description below to book a free consultation call. We also have free downloadables from Parent Empowerment Coaching and our quest to help parents fight for 15 minutes. Stay empowered, stay informed. We'll talk again soon.